Hello everyone. Today it's lesson 33. It's page 80. Well, this time we will listen a lot. Well, so far there hasn't been many listening classes recently. So today especially we will focus on listening and speaking. Well, here page 80 it's about collectors. Collector is a person who collects things, right? 뭔가 수집하는 사람인 거죠? 수집가 정도가 되겠는데요. 요번에 리스닝 파트가 되게 길어요. 그래서 listen, 되게 귀 기울여서 쫑긋. I hope you guys are all like all ears. Like all ears 하면 like I am all ears 이런 말 쓰죠? 그러면 나는 온몸이 막 ears가 됐다? You are just really keen to listen to something. Then you say, I'm all ears. Tell me. Or 이렇게 열심히 듣는 것 이런 것을 all ears라고 하는데요. Okay, so this time let's be all ears. Okay. Well, here there are two people. First person, her name is Andrea Levitt, and these two people are all collectors, and they collect things. 우리가 뭘 수집하는 사람인지 한번 들어봐야 될 텐데요. Okay, here, let's look at number 2. You are going to listen to two people who are both passionate collectors. Well, they are really enthusiastic about collecting things. And of course, these two people have their own individual interest. So their interests are different. So we should figure it out. And divide into two groups. Well, let's just forget this part, and we will just listen to the recording and understand it together. Okay, here, the first one. The group A, it says, listen to Andrea Levitt, who collects dolls. Okay, so of course, we are not in groups, so we will just listen to this recording just ourselves. 우리 그냥 스스로 듣기로 해요. 자, Andrea Levitt이라는 아줌마, 네, 좀 아줌마라고 하긴 좀 그렇고, 네, 그 여성분의 이야기가 나오는데요. 이게요, the recording is quite long, so I should give you some questions that you should like keen to all along the dialogue. 이 dialogue라기보다는요, it's interview. So this person interviews this woman. And he asks many questions, and she answers these questions. And it's about her collection. Collection 하면 모은 수집품 이런 얘기죠. 그러니까 collection itself like 수집. 그러니까 수집하는 행위 자체를 말할 수도 있지만, oh, this is my collection 하면서 you can show what you have collected so far. 그러니까 이거 내가 모은 것들이야. 이럴 때 this is my collection 할 수가 있어요. 그러면 여기서 그 인터뷰어가 인터뷰이인 Andrea Levitt에게 몇 가지 질문을 던지는데요. 그거를 우리가 들으면서 우리도 이렇게 귀를 기울여서 들어봐야 될 텐데 먼저 before we listen to this recording, let me just briefly summarize some difficult words. Okay? Well, here, when you listen to this, maybe you will listen this word, like show off. Show off. show는 보여주는 거죠. off는 뭔가 밖으로 떨어지는 느낌이잖아요. 그러니까 뭔가를 보여주면서 밖으로 꺼내. 그러니까는 show off. 아하! 이렇게 되는 거죠. 하! 이렇게 잘난 척하는 걸 말하는 거죠. So show off or show off something, or you can also say boast or brag. Well, she's kind of bragging about her collection. She wants to boast. She wants to show off what she has. 가진 걸 이제 보여주고 싶어 해요. 그래서 이렇게 되게 자랑하고 싶어요. 이런 말 나와요. She wants to show off. I want to show off. 그리고 또 뭐가 나오냐면요. immaculate 이렇게 들려요. 그래서 듣다 보면요. immaculate처럼 들리거든요. But it's originally immaculate. 근데 요 앞부분이 약하니까 immaculate 이렇게 들려요. 듣다 보면 immaculate. Immaculate means it's very, very clean and tidy. Well, it's awesome. Well, it is an emphasizing word. So when you see something really good, then you can say, wow, fabulous, like incredible, or it's great, awesome. And you can also say immaculate. Well, it's perfect. It's good. And clean and pure. Perfect. 너무 멋지다. 그리고 특별히 어떤 의미가 덧취가 되냐면 깨끗하다, 순수하다, 너무 오점이 없다 이런 것을 말할 때 immaculate이라고 해요. Then you will encounter this word when you listen to this recording. 자, 요거가 있는가 하면 또 그 어떤 단어가 있느냐? 요 사이에 썼었어요. 자, dust. As a noun, dust is something you need to get rid of, like just dust and dust. But as a verb, you get rid of dust. You remove dust. 그게 dust 하는 거예요. 그래서 if you have a big collection of some things like dolls or some trophies or sometimes alcohols. Some guys collect liquors, but they don't drink. They just worship them. Like, 모아놓고 안 마시잖아요. 컬렉터들은. 아닌가요? 그럼 이렇게 해놓으면 뭐 it becomes dirty, dusty. Then you dust them. 이렇게 슉슉슉슉슉 이렇게 하는 거죠. Then you remove the dust from this collection. 자, 그런 말 나오고요. 그 다음에 또 듣다 보면 crazy. Well, I guess like, you guys already know what it is. Crazy. 누가 모르겠어요, 이거. 그런데 crazy 하면 some Korean people think crazy is really, really bad. So when you say, like, you're crazy, then you kind of get upset. Some people get really upset. What? You call me crazy? But actually, crazy is not that bad word. 그냥 참 특이하네. 이 정도의 그 뉘앙스를 가지는 거지. 이 미친놈아 이런 거 아니거든요. 그러니까 이렇게 나갔다 이런 게 아니고요. 영어로 crazy 하면 우리 한국말의 미친 그것과는 훨씬 차이가 덜해요. 만약에 우리나라 말로 진짜 이렇게 하고 싶으면 lunatic 또는 lunatics 이거는 이제 S 붙여서 그럴 때는 진짜 그야말로 막 머리 막 이렇게 하고 이런 거고요. 그러니까 그냥 참 특이하네. 뭐 이럴 때 crazy. Or even when you feel really, really tired and you can't really see what's going on. Well, sometimes it happens, right? If you are really extremely tired, then you don't know what's going on near you. And then you can say, well, I'm a little bit crazy today, like this. So 진짜 뭐 미친 이게 아니고요. And also, like crazy means like odd, like strange, like unusual. So, she's a bit crazy. She's a bit different. 좀 특이한 사람이야. 이런 얘기가 되겠죠? 그러면 여기서 그 특이하다의 의미로서 쓰일 때 물론 odd 이런 거 있겠고 weird 있겠죠? She's a bit weird. Or eccentric. But eccentric is a bit stronger. Eccentric, if you describe a person, eccentric person, that is, that person is really odd, strange, plus the person gets upset easily. 되게 쉽게 화를 내는, hot-tempered 한 사람이 보통 eccentric. So eccentric is not positive. It's a bit negative. So you better not describe a person eccentric. Especially if you like that person, then don't call them eccentric. You should say, she's different. She's unique. 이렇게 하면 좋은 쪽이죠. 특이해, unique해. 근데 she's eccentric 하면 참 특이해. 이런 뉘앙스 차이 있는 거예요. 근데 여기서는 eccentric이라는 단어는 안 나오는데요. 요 crazy가 나오게 돼 있어요. 그러면 잠깐 이렇게까지 했고요. 그러면 일단 먼저 let's listen to this conversation and then figure out what the information we can listen. Well, here there are some question points that we should listen to. The first, like, what's her collection? And what's her passion? 여기서 in this unit, unit 10, the title is obsession. Well, before the last time, here like a writer's life, well, her passion or her obsession was writing stories. And before that, we studied the father Daniel, and his obsession was like getting a driver's license, right? Well, this time, these people's obsessions. Like, what are their obsessions? We should find out. And plus, like, because she's going to talk about her collection and what she has collected so far. And we should listen to how long has she been collecting these things. 얼마 동안 이걸 또 모아왔을까? 이거 한번 들어보시고요. 즉, 허비가 뭐냐? 그러니까 컬렉션, 뭘 모으느냐? 그 다음에 이걸 얼마 동안 모았을까? 그리고 why is she doing this? 왜 이러고 있을까? 한번 그 포커스를 맞춰서 한번 들어보도록 하겠어요. 자, 그리고 나서 또 듣다 보면요. If you collect things, there must be some items that you like more than others, like your favorites, right? So she also has her own favorite item. So let's kind of figure out what her favorite item is among her collection. 어떤 것을 favorite item으로 가지고 있는지 그것도 한번 체크 한번 해보세요. 자, 그러면 let's listen to this recording.
First of all, just a little bit about you. Are you originally from New York City?
I'm from Wilmington, Delaware, but I've been living in New York a long time. I came to New York to work in the fashion industry. I still work in the world of fashion. I love it.
So, how long have you been collecting dolls?
It must be about 25 years. Yeah, 25 years.
So what led you to having such a love of dolls? Have you always loved them?
Well, no. I didn't play with dolls much when I was a kid, but these aren't kids' dolls that I collect.
No?
No. They're really works of art. When you say the word doll, people think of a toy for little girls, but these are not. When I opened my business, Dolls at Home, 1 year ago, that was the message I wanted to get across to all art lovers, that dolls are another art form.
Yeah, I can see that these are not dolls for little girls. Some of them are really quite amazing. How many dolls do you have in your collection?
Ooh, I would say, I think maybe 300.
Wow. And where are they all?
Well, I had to buy a new apartment.
You bought an apartment for the dolls?
Yeah, I really did. My son, he's 31 now, he went off to college, and I filled his room with dolls in 2 minutes, so I realized that I needed a different apartment. I wanted to show off my dolls.
So, you have what, maybe 4 or 5 rooms, all with dolls?
Actually, there are dolls in every room, even the bathroom and the kitchen.
I was going to ask, is there one room where you don't allow dolls?
No, oh no, they're part of my life. I mean, sometimes when people visit, there's nowhere to sit. It's a problem.
So, what about keeping them clean, dusting them?
That's a problem, too. New York is dirty. I suppose they should be under glass, but I don't want them under glass. I want to enjoy them. I dust them occasionally.
Well, they look immaculate.
Thanks.
That's a very unusual doll. Is it valuable?
No, not really. But that doll over there, it has an elephant mask. That's my favorite.
Oh, really?
You see, the mask goes up, and it's a little boy's face.
Oh.
And it goes down, and it's an elephant's face. It's made by one of the best doll makers in the U.S., Akira Blount.
And how do you find your dolls?
I travel all over. I go to doll shows, and now that I have a website and I've started my own business, doll artists find me. As I said, it's been going on for a year now, and I have a mailing list of 900 people.
Wow. What does your son think of all this?
You know, he thinks I'm sort of crazy. He loves this apartment, but he just can't understand
why you fill it with dolls.
Yeah, but 2 weeks ago, he came to one of my doll shows. It was his first time, and I think he was impressed. Yeah, I think so.
Do you think you'll ever stop collecting them?
No, there's always room for another doll. If you're a real collector, you always find room.
I'm sure you're right. That's great, Andrea. Thank you very much.
Okay, how was it? Could you feel her enthusiasm when she talked about her collection, especially when she talked about her favorite item? Well, while you were listening to this conversation, you looked at the photo of her. Well, she was surrounded, all her collection, like like many dolls. I guess it's more like 100 dolls. And anyway, so we just listened. And let's check now the questions about this conversation. And in page 80, number 3, answer the questions here. Number 1, where does she live? Who with? Or with who? 누구랑 사느냐? 이런 얘기죠. Who with or with who? 둘 다 되겠어요. Where does she live? Well, is she originally from New York? Well, she wasn't originally from New York. Actually, she lived in Wilmington, Delaware, but she moved to New York because she's working in this fashion industry, right? So here, the question, number 1, the answer to this question is, she lives alone in New York. Well, she has a son, but I guess she's not living with him anymore. And number 2, what does she do for a living? Here also, like I just said, she's working in fashion industry. So you can simply say she works in fashion industry. Well, but we don't really know if she's a fashion designer or anything. She just mentioned a fashion industry, just fashion field. Okay, and number 3, how long has she been collecting? How long has she been collecting her dolls? Well, here, in this conversation, the interviewer asks her, like, how long? And she kind of thought about it, and, it must be 25 years. Yeah, 25 years. And she said, like, it seemed like she was even surprised at herself, like, oh yeah, 25 years. 처음에는 25년인 게 분명해요. 오, 25년이네요. 이렇게 되는 거죠. 스스로도 놀라서 이렇게 얘기를 하는 걸 들을 수가 있었어요. And the next question, number 4. So the answer to number 3, well, we should make a full sentence. 25년이라는 건 맞는데 full sentence로 만들면 she has been collecting dolls for 25 years. 이게 되겠죠? Okay, number 4. How many items has she collected? Well, the interviewer also asked her about this, and she said, well, here, according to what she said, she has collected about like 300 dolls. Well, like I said, like right after we listened to the recording, well, I said like it looks like there are some 100 dolls, but actually she has more than 100. She said it's 300 dolls. 엄청나게 많은 거죠. 그걸 어떻게 셌을까? 근데 이제 안드레아가 말하기를 I would say 300. I would say란 말이 나오죠. I would say. 그러면 이게 사실 가정법이잖아요. 뭐뭐라고 말할 것이다. 뭐뭐라고 말해야겠다. 이게 그냥 뭐뭐인 것 같아. 그래서 I think it's 300. Or I would say 300. 똑같은 거예요. 그러니까 내 생각에 뭐 이 정도. She's not pretty like 100% sure, but she kind of thinks. Okay? 자, 그 다음에요. The next question. Number 5. How many rooms of the house are taken up with the collection? Well, take up 하면 뭔가 차지하다 이런 얘기죠. 그래서 얼마나 많은 그 room. 여기서 room은 it's not about one room like bedroom, living room, or a kitchen. It's not like that. It's room if there is no a or 뭐 two 뭐 이런 게 없으면 room means space, 공간을 말해요. 공간. 근데 여기서는 rooms s를 붙였죠. 그래서 여기서는 방을 의미하는 거예요. 그러니까 how much room do you need? 이렇게 하면 how much space do you need? Like this bed or this bed? 그렇지만 how many rooms do you need? 이렇게 many로 가면 몇 개의 방이 필요로 하냐. 셀 수 있으면 방, 셀 수 없으면 space로 가는 거예요. 그럼 여기서 how many rooms라고 했어요. Well, according to her, she said, number 5, Well, actually, she didn't give the exact number. She just said like, in every room. 그냥 모든 방에 있어요. 이렇게 얘기했죠. 몇 개 있어요. 이렇게 얘기하지 않고. 그래서 the answer to this question is like, there are dolls in every room. 모든 방에 있습니다. Okay, and number 6. What's her favorite item? Well, did you listen? Did you figure out what her favorite item was? The mask, like elephant mask. Well, this doll had this elephant mask and this, well, actually when she talked, well, we could feel, I don't know if you guys kind of got it or not, but when she said, like, oh, she kind of showed it, like demonstrated. 뭐 이렇게 올라가면요, 여기 밑에 보이시죠? 이거 있고요. 이렇게 내리면 이렇게 돼요. 하면서 보여주면서 얘기를 한 걸 알 수가 있어요. 들어보셨으면. 근데 그 느낌이 오는데, the mask goes up and the little boy's face is underneath. And the mask goes down, the covers, and then it's elephant mask. And she was really enthusiastic. 되게 좋아했었죠? So, her favorite item, 뭡니까? Her favorite item is a doll with an elephant mask. Okay, next question. Number 7. Where do the items come from? 어디서 구했냐? Where did she get all these dolls? And she said, I travel a lot. And she goes to many doll shows. 인형쇼, 뭐 이렇게 되는 거죠. Some exhibition. 거기 가서 she collects. And now that she has her own website. Now that 하면 because or since. 다 똑같아요. Now that I have website. Because I have this website, like other doll makers contact me. 그들이 먼저 연락을 한다. 이렇게 얘기를 했었죠. 그래서 그 메일링 리스트에 like almost like 900 people are listed on her mailing list, she said. 자, 그래서 number 7, 어떻게 말할 수가 있느냐? Like all over the world, like all over. She gets these dolls from doll shows or doll artists. 그러니까 뭐 만든 사람, doll makers or doll artists kind of contact her. 그래서 모은다 이런 얘기죠. Okay, number 8. Is she in touch with other people who share the same hobby? The same hobby here is collecting dolls. So, is she in touch with those? 자, 여기서 뭐라고 얘기했나요? Yes. 계속 컨택트를 하고 있는 상태인 거죠. 왜냐하면 because now that she has this website, many people contact her. She said that. So, we can say yes, she is in touch with other people who have the same hobby as her. 이렇게 말할 수 있겠어요. 자, 여기서 그러면 여기까지 들어봤고요. 이번에는 next person, Jeff 얘기를 들어보도록 하겠는데요. Jeff Parker인데 이 사람의 what is his obsession? What is his passion? 한번 들어보고요. What is his favorite item? Where he lives? 이런 것들 한번 중점적으로 들어보시면서 문제를 풀어보도록 하겠습니다. 그러면 Jeff Parker 들어보도록 할게요.
First of all, just a little bit about you, Jeff. Are you originally from New York City?
No, I'm originally from the Philadelphia area, but I moved to New York about 5 years ago when I got a job working for a bank on Wall Street.
And do you mind talking about your Star Wars collection?
No, not at all.
So, how did you get interested in Star Wars?
Well, Star Wars was one of the first movies I ever saw. I think I was 4 years old. My dad took me to see it, and I just loved it. Loved the story, loved the idea of being in space. I think I saw it 10 times.
Wow, you sure did love Star Wars.
Yeah, I guess so. And then all the toys came out, so I started collecting the action figures.
Action figures?
They're these little metallic figures, models of the characters in the movie.
I see. And which character did you like best?
Oh, I was a Han Solo fan. I think he was my favorite. You know, I still have that Han Solo action figure. It's worth a lot of money now, but I like it because it was the first Star Wars thing I ever owned.
So, did you just collect the figures?
Oh, no. I collected the figures first. Darth Vader, Luke, Obi-Wan Kenobi, R2-D2, and of course Princess Leia. Then I just started collecting everything Star Wars. Spaceships, space stations, posters, videos.
Well, you seem to have a lot of pieces in your collection. About how many pieces do you have altogether?
I'm not sure because most of my collection is at my parents' house in Philadelphia.
Ah.
I don't have room for all of it here in New York, but I'd say I probably have about 700 pieces in all.
700 pieces? How did you get so many?
Well, you know, I'd ask my mom for the newest toys. Every holiday, every birthday, and the collection just grew and grew. I think they really like Star Wars too. When I was a kid, my mom gave me Star Wars birthday parties and bought me Star Wars cereal for breakfast. I even had Star Wars pajamas and Star Wars underwear.
A real Star Wars family then.
You could say that. We even called our family dog Princess Leia.
And did you play with other kids who collected Star Wars stuff?
No, not really. I like to play with all the things by myself. I loved making up all these Star Wars stories about the characters.
And now, are you in touch with other Star Wars collectors?
No, I don't have the time really.
So, what are you going to do with your collection?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Sometimes I think I might sell it. Other times I think I might just keep it and give it to my kids someday.
Phew, that would be something, wouldn't it? Thanks, Jeff.
Okay, what was his passion? Well, what does he collect? Well, he collects everything which is related to Star Wars, right? 모든 거, Star Wars와 관련된 거 모든 걸 다 모으는 그런 사람인데요. Well, she's really huge. No, he is really huge fan of Star Wars. Well, here, actually, he's like, is he really originally from New York City? Well, according to this interview, I just keep saying he, okay? He's originally from Philadelphia, but now he's living in New York City. So question number 1, where does he live now? Well, he's not living in Philadelphia anymore. He's living in New York City. He lives in New York. And what about his collection? Well, all of his collection isn't in his apartment. Actually, many of them are in his parents' place, it said. 부모님 집에 있다고 했죠? 자, 그러면 number 2, what does he do for a living? So what's his job? Well, here he says he works for a bank on Wall Street. So he works in a bank. You can say that. And number 3, how long has he been collecting? How long has he been collecting these things? Well, actually, this one is a memorabilia. Well, if you say memorabilia, then that's some things. Well, anything. It can be anything. But that is connected with some movie or a person, maybe even video games. So everything that is related to this thing, then that is called memorabilia. Well, actually, we don't have a specific word in Korean to this, but in English, you say memorabilia. Well, I guess in Korean, maybe more 기념품, but it's not really 기념품, but well, we don't have a word. So just in English, just memorize it, just accept it as English, memorabilia. Well, so here he just collects Star Wars memorabilia, everything, like action figure. He says action figure. Well, action figure is some kind of dolls or toys. It's a toys, but these toys are all based on movies or even music or real people or famous celebrities or sometimes video games. Well, I guess you guys all know this game like Street Fighter. 그러면 춘리 모양 이렇게 해서 나온 인형. 그런 것들 다 action figures라고 해요. 그런데 these action figures have some kind of characteristics. Well, actually, they can move a little bit. It's not that it moves automatically, but it moves like joint. It has joint. So, there are arms, legs, hand, you can move them. 그런 것들이 action figure. 그리고 이 사람은 Jeff Parker collects all the action figures about Star Wars. Okay, here. Now, number 3, how long has he been collecting these action figures, memorabilia? Well, here, he said he started collecting these toys since he was 4 years old, right? So you can say he's been collecting Star Wars memorabilia since he was 4 years old. Okay, next one. How many items has he collected so far? Well, how many? Well, here, he said something like, he couldn't really give the exact number. He also said, I would say something like that. That means, I think, because he can't be sure. Well, there are so many action figures. How could he count them? How could he just exactly count them, how many action figures there are? So he just gives some kind of a rough figure about how many. It was 700 pieces. 700 pieces of action figures. He has 700 pieces. It's amazing. 대단하죠? 그래서 number 4. 여기서는 about 700 items. 이렇게 되겠어요. 일단 여기서 he said he all just collects everything related to Star Wars. So he has Darth Vader. It's a bad guy. He's wearing this all in black. The Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker, right? Luke and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Well, his Jedi Master and R2D2. Do you remember what is R2D2? Well, R2D2 is some cute robot, right? Well, it doesn't mimic some human beings, but it's like a drum, like can. But it has many functions, and he's very smart, and he's very brave. He ventures many things. And his best friend, do you remember what his name is? 이렇게 다니는 애 있었잖아요. C-3PO. But C-3PO, he always kind of babbles. Babble means you talk a lot, but in kind of confused and excited way. R2D2, you better stop doing it. 하지마. 이러는데 R2D2, he's so brave that he just ventures many things. And then C-3PO just, oh gosh, okay, I will go with you. And then they save other people sometimes. 되게 재밌는 커플이죠. 그리고 Princess Leia Skywalker, right? Skywalker. And there's Chewbacca. In shortened form, Chewie라고 부르죠. Chewie, but Chewbacca이죠. 거기서요, 잠깐, Luke. 이게, of course, it is a name of a person. It's a person's name. But actually, it's kind of off the topic, but I kind of want to let you know. Lukewarm. 이런 단어가 있어요. 사람 이름이랑 전혀 관계없어요, 근데 lukewarm 하면요. It is not too hot. It is not cold. It is kind of warm, but not really warm. But it's not cold. It's not really warm. In Korean, 미지근한. 그러니까 미지근한 거. How can we say 미지근 in English? Lukewarm. Do you want it hot? 뭐 뜨겁게 해줄까요? Do you want it cold? I like it lukewarm. 그냥 미지근하게 해주세요. 이런 거 있죠. lukewarm이라고 해요. 그냥, it's just off the topic, but there is this name, Luke, so I just let you know. Okay, and next question. Here, number 5. How many rooms of the house are taken up with this collection? Well, here, according to him, the answer to question 5 is, well, he said it's in one room. He just put these all toys in one room, but where is this room? It's not in his place, but this room is in his parents' place in Philadelphia. 부모님 집에 있었죠? 그래서 it's in one room, the toy room, at his parents' place. Okay, and next question, 7. Number 6. What's his favorite item? What's his favorite item? Well, he said Han Solo. Well, Han Solo, actually in the movie, Harrison Ford played this role. He took this role like Han Solo. And he said, Jeff Parker said, Han Solo action figure is my favorite. And because now that these days Han Solo action figures are very, very rare, so it's very expensive now. Like it's very valuable. But it's not because it's expensive, but it's because it was his first collection. It was the first Star Wars memorabilia he collected, so that's why he likes this Han Solo action figure, he said. So, 그 한 솔로 액션 피규어, 한 솔로 뭐 프라모델 정도가 될까요? 한국말로 하자면 그거를 제일 좋아한다 얘기했죠? 그래서 the answer to question 6 can be like his favorite item is a Han Solo action figure. Okay, and number 7. Where do the items come from? Okay, where? 어디서 이렇게 구했냐, 이 많은 것들을 이렇게 얘기하죠. 자, 그런데 여기서는 well, actually, he didn't really say where. He just has collected these action figures, memorabilia, just here and there, everywhere. Like, he wanted some gifts all the time. Like, every time he could get some gifts, like his birthday or a holiday or Christmas, he always wanted memorabilia, like Star Wars memorabilia. And also, his parents are big fans of Star Wars as well. So it's kind of big Star Wars family. Star Wars 가족인 거죠. 그래서 every time. So even his parents even throw a party like Star Wars theme party. Well, here actually he used the word give a party, give a birthday party, give a Star Wars birthday party. But when you say well, you don't say open a party. In Korean, just literally, 파티를 열다. Open a party? No. Throw a party. Throw a party or give a party 다 돼요. 파리를 던진다. 촥 놀아봐. 이렇게 하는 거죠. 놀아봐. 자, 그러면 어디서 얻었느냐? The answer to question 7, well, we can say, well, he doesn't say exactly, but he has got these action figures and toys from parties and from his parents. Well, his parents all the time gave him presents, and those presents were all Star Wars memorabilia. 이렇게 되겠죠? 그래서 그냥 모았습니다. He just collected. 이렇게 할 수가 있겠어요. 아니면 his mom gave him. 엄마가 줬어요. Okay, number 8. Let's move on. Well, is he in touch with other people who share the same hobby? The same hobby here is collecting Star Wars memorabilia, right? And he said, not really. No. Well, he's not in touch with others. He just keep all these toys to himself. And actually, the interviewer asked him, okay, then, what are you going to do with your collection? What will you do with this? And he said, oh, sometimes I think I should sell it, and sometimes I feel I should keep them all. Well, he doesn't have like fixed plan. But at the end of this interview, he says like this, like, maybe I should keep them all to myself, and later in the future, maybe I should give these to my kids. 이렇게 말하죠. 애한테 다시 물려줘야겠다. 유산으로. 그러니까 the interviewer said, wow, that would be something. Like, that would be great. 이렇게 되는 거죠. 대단하겠는데요. It's unusual, remarkable. 되는 겁니다. 자, 그러면요. 이렇게 해서 we checked these 8 questions about like Andrea Levitt and Jeff Parker, both people. And well, we kind of listened a lot today. Well, how was it today? Well, could you understand what they were saying? Well, if you couldn't understand them, like I hope you guys like review what you studied today. Okay? Then I will wrap it up and have a good day and see you next time. Okay? Bye.